Hi everybody, today's chapter is chapter 27. I hope you are enjoying the podcasts at the moment. I am, and I'm enjoying the book even more. Okay, so here we go. Chapter 27. I call him, and he doesn't answer. If you've listened to the last chapter, Rue has walked away as he has found out that it was Maeve that said to his sister, I want you to leave or disappear. Have to listen to the chapter. Okay. Eventually, he WhatsApps me. Stop calling, he writes. I just want to explain what happened. A brief pause. I saw what happened. The familiar bubbles of typing and stopping and typing. After a while he gives up. I'm sorry, I write. You let me believe that Lily summoned the housekeeper, but you did. I'm about to tap out my responses, but his next message comes too quickly. You wished she would just disappear, and you didn't think what was relevant information. I know I should think carefully about what I say next, but the panic is too strong. I type and type, sending long essay-length texts, full of guilt and bargaining and misery. I stipulate over and over again how we still don't know what summons the housekeeper, that it could have been both of us, or the concentrated energy of all the girls in the room, that these were all just theories, really, and we didn't have any actual proof that the housekeeper existed at all. Another silence. I just want to be alone right now. I write and delete a million messages to him over and over again. In the course of the evening, do you still want to go out? And am I still invited to your gig on Saturday? And most pathetically of all, do you still like me? Thank you, I've had enough self-preservation not to send them. There's something on the radio about global warming and Gulf streams, and this is why I like the book, because it also takes the new things that are in the media and into this book and twines it into the book story. The warming and the Gulf streams and fish migrating patterns. A scientist is explaining to Alan Maguire about a warm current coming up from Brazil. Alan Maguire is reading messages from listeners about how in the good old days everyone would go skating when the river frozen over. Why hasn't the river frozen over? That is what I ask myself. Joan is in for the evening. She hasn't been around much lately. Her romance with Sarah is in full swing again, and that's her sister. And she's spending every other night at hers. So she's got a girlfriend as a partner. For those that do not understand. And that's why you have to listen to the podcast, because it's amazing. I have a feeling she's going to move out and I'll be alone with Mum and Dad again. Alone for, at the very least, another 2 years. Who am I kidding? It's only 2 years if I go to college in a different country. And at the moment it's difficult to imagine me getting accepted into any college at all. I winch thinking about Mum getting me into the local university or using her pool to get me a job in the bookshop. Hey, stranger, Joe says, as I descend the stairs. She's baking again, a kind of oaty honey biscuit that's great dipped in tea. Haven't seen a lot of you lately. Yeah, I shrugged. I can feel the three of them being cautiously optimistic about how much I have been out of the house lately. They still talk about me like they suspect I am deaf. It's good she's keeping busy, etc., etc. The little birdie told me they saw you kissing someone. What? When? Oh, one of the girls asked if my sister had a boyfriend. I said not that I knew of. Oh, Jesus. Well, what's his name? I say nothing and focus instead on dabbing my finger in the flour on the countertop. All right, Jo says, a smug smile in her voice. You are lucky you are straight. You know, it's all so simple. Girl meets boy. No one has to come out as straight. Sure, I said bleakly. Lucky me. I remember, she chuckles, laying down a baking sheet. Getting off with boys and just desperately trying to like it. Well, Rue is bisexual, so she hasn't told her sister about that yet. So it's not as simple as her sister thinks. I flung myself at him, imagining these great romances to get away from the fact that I was completely gay bones. Oh God, that's not what Rue has been doing all along, is it? What are you trying to say, Jo? What? I am just someone's pretend girlfriend, I suppose? That's not even slightly what I was saying. God, I'm just so sick of it. I say, my voice suddenly loud and cracked. I'm sick of being everybody's third voice. Maeve, you need to calm down and tell me what the hell you are talking about. She tries to meet my eye, but I can't let her see how shiny they are. I'm taking the dog for a walk, I announce. Tutu! Where are you, Tutu? I find him on Pat's bed, his head buried under the pillow. He's already had his walk today and is enjoying his evening ritual of ignoring us all until my dad comes home. Come on, I say, and he trots amiably after me. I fasten his lead and take him out, hoping that Rue will be hanging around the underpass again. He isn't. After a solid 20 minutes of staring at my phone, waiting for Rue to text, I start throwing a stick for Tutu. He fetches it dutifully, a bit too old to be excited by a game. I nestle his big blonde head between my hands and call him a very good boy. And though I can compliment myself out of my own problem, we got him when I was 8 after my cat Tom died. My imagination wasn't great then either. We named him Tom too, which eventually became Tutu. We were always a cat family before Tutu. There was the other cat, the one that ran away before I was born. I have seen pictures of him, a fat black scoundrel who once ruined Christmas by climbing up the kitchen counter, eating the turkey and getting explosive diarrhea on said turkey. I wasn't there for any of this, of course, but I've heard the story so many times, I might as well have been there. Tutu is snuffling around in the snow, a little bored of it already. We all are at this stage. I throw Tutu a stick. It ends up in the river, and he barks as it is floating on the next of the green algae. Oh God, you don't want me to fish it out for you, do you? He barks. Fine, I suppose I don't have the luxury of pissing you off. I lean on the water's edge and pluck the stick out. It's disconcerting how warm it is Tutu gazes into the water with me, and for a moment our reflection, him with his puzzled expression, me with my long woolly hair falling over my face, is frightening. I keep gazing, even as Tutu loses interest and wanders away. And then it hits me. The dog, the hair. I look like her, the housekeeper. I think about all the things I've done today. I like Turu. I've shown him the ugliest side of myself. I've suspected Fiona of trying to steal him away from me, as though he were a piece of property. I've yelled at my sister for no reason at all. And why? Because I was scared, because I was insecure, because I felt like a girl who no one could possibly love. And I acted like a girl who no one would want to. What if I didn't just summon the housekeeper because I was angry at Lily? What if the housekeeper was alive inside of me all the time? What if the nastiest, darkest parts of me fueled the housekeeper? What if the housekeeper is me? The concept comes into view like the appearance of a single star into daylight. I dip my hand into the water again. Green algae spools around me. I push the sleeve of my coat up further so it bunches around my elbow. I lower my arm all the way, like I'm reaching into the chest cavity of a giant. I reach in, looking to tickle the base of the river, to find its beating heart. I don't find the soft, squishy, dense organs, though, or slippery, tangled weeds. The thing my hand settles on while groping in the wet, infinite darkness is hard, metal, jagged. I feel around my fingers, caking in silt. Yes, metal things, loads of them. Small metal objects, keys are there, keys down here. I clasp a handful and pull out my arm, and whatever I'm holding slices through my skin. Easy, soft, quiet, like a steak knife through the beanbag. Jesus, I scream, yanking my hand out of the cowering over it, dragging my closed fists towards my belly. Tutu, bounce over, demanding to see my hand, intrigued by the blood and the river water trickling down my arm. I shout at him to go away, more out of instinct than anything else, a small rodent-like urge to be both frightened and private. He backs away, hurt, and goes back to examine the snow. Slowly I open my palm to try to examine the keys that have cut through me so easily. But there are no keys, or at least not the keys of keys I was expecting. These are just big brass things used to wind up old toys, shiny and yellow like they've just fallen off the factory line. There are two in my hand, along with an assortment of rusted cogs of different sizes. A world of drawings and games and tiny little promises, all in the palm of my hand. I look from my hand to the river and wonder how much blood I'd lost in the exchange. Ooh, and that, I wonder what that's going to be in the next chapter. It's getting exciting again. I'll see you in the next chapter. Take care.